one of the ideas that people have firmly associated with the subject of marketing is the idea of what's commonly called branding. Okay? And in my opinion, and this is a personal opinion, others might disagree with me, branding is one of the most overused and overhyped and mostly worthless ideas or concepts that it really is kind of a business fad that's been around for a long time. Because what most people mean when they use the term brand is reputation. Okay? Having a good brand is synonymous with having a good reputation. And when somebody uses the word building their brand, they're usually talking about building their reputation.
Okay.
And the things that would make your brand stronger are the things that increase or enhance your reputation.
That's true.
They're essentially the same concepts.
And it seems much easier to control your reputation than your brand.
Yeah. Or to think of, instead of and it's like, business buzzword speak of, what can I do to build my brand today?
Right.
It makes you feel really important, and it's like, but that's hard to like, well, what do I do to build my brand?
It seems kind of nebulous and bigger than you.
Exactly. Which is why so many advertising agencies can sell all sorts of unnecessary stuff if they use the term "build your brand," when really all you're doing is trying to enhance your reputation, and doing the things that will improve your reputation inevitably build your brand because it's the same thing.
Cool.
And yes, there are some things like being consistent in your identity or presenting yourself in the same way, but most of the benefits of brand building are directly related to building a reputation. And so the thing is, a strong reputation, and this is why branding is typically presented as being extremely important. Building a strong reputation allows you to charge premium prices, which is a wonderful, wonderful thing. So, people love to do business with other folks who have had good experiences with this thing.
Yep.
Which is a part of social proof we'll talk about in a couple weeks. But the stronger your reputation, the more easily someone is willing to trust you. So it helps you make more sales. And the more people will be willing to pay to do business with you because they trust that the experience is going to be worth it. Okay? Now, an important caveat. And this is where using the term brand, I think, is very misleading. Okay. Because brand building is typically presented as something that is under your direct control. The whole idea of brand management.
Right.
You're going to, it's like...
That's someone's job at P&G, right?
It is. I used to be one. And I'm telling you, you can't do it. You really can't. Because the thing is, there's no, I used to work on, ironically, the Mr. Clean brand. And, it's not like brand management would be like, you go in and there's a room with a whole bunch of dials that says Mr. Clean in the top. It's like, I'm going to turn up the cleanliness part.
Oh my God.
And I'm going to turn down, it's like, that would be brand management. Okay. The thing is, your brand is a reputation and you don't control your reputation. You never have and you never will. Your reputation is the sum total of the opinions that everyone in your market has about you.
Yep.
And you can influence that, yes, by what you do and how you present yourself and all those things. You can influence it, but you don't control it. You never can. And so it's helpful whenever you're trying to establish your reputation. It's helpful to remember that you need to do it. Okay, a good reputation is a good thing to have, but the marketplace is the final arbiter of your reputation. It's not you. The marketplace will look at everything that you do, how you act, what you offer, your customer service policies, the experiences that other people have with what you have to offer, and they will pass a judgment on you. You don't get to control what other people think about you. All you have is what you do, and you can think about that in a way that I want to do things that will make people think well of me and my company. But in the end, you don't control it. Okay? So build a reputation. Remember that other people form your reputation, not you. So do things that are likely to be perceived by your customers, the people who are looking, at what you offer, as being good and valuable and worth patronizing.
And no matter how many times you've had a customer, whether it's their first time or their 60th time, remember that this is probably someone's first time. And even though you've probably done it 60 other times that day, it's their first time. And I think making sure that you keep that new feeling and that extremely important feeling in every deal, it's going to make sure that you can keep up that, you keep it up to the level that you want for your reputation across the board. That's as much control as you really are going to have.
Yeah. And also be aware that, if you want to change your image or you want to stand for something else, because you don't control it, that always takes time. I remember going through, on some of the brands I worked on at P&G, going through a rebranding exercise of, we want this brand to stand for something else.
It's tough.
And then 12 months later, we'd be like, why don't people think that it stands for this now? We've been doing this for 12 months. And the thing is, people have a firmly established reputation. A good example that we're in the process of now is people assume that the major thing that the personal MBA is about is the books. And still, I send out surveys and I get a lot of comment about, the reading list and all that stuff. And that's good. It's important. I spent,
a long time.
Yeah, 3 or 4 years where that was the central focus of the personal MBA. Now, the reality is it's not about the books. It's about the ideas the books contain. And that's what we're talking about here. But just because I decided to shift in a different direction and focus on something else, something more important, or more fundamental or more essential, doesn't mean that everyone else's thinking shifts with mine at the very same time.
Yep.
And so, sometimes it feels like, we've been talking about this new direction or this new emphasis for a long time and people still aren't getting it. But that's the reputation thing. There's a reputation built around books that hasn't necessarily shifted yet. And that's okay. So reputation is important. Pay attention to it. Do things that will make people think highly of you, but also be aware that if you shift your direction or you want to stand for something else, it takes time for that to change as well.
All right.